Welcome, everyone, to the Tethys Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yard Master, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today, we're basically doing an overview of a single starship type, and we're doing a short overview of it because, well, last time we tried this, we went into greater detail and it went very long. And when we tried uploading it, it just wouldn't work. So, here we are. We might do vids going into more detail on specific instances, but those will just relate to specific families of ships, not the entire type. What type of ship is that, you might ask? Well, if you haven't guessed by what's on the screen, we're covering Klingon birds of prey.
The bird of prey. The poster ship for the entire KDF. Other than the D7, but let's not talk about the D7 at the moment.
Yeah, to paraphrase Alton Brown from Good Eats, that's another vid.
Regardless, the bird of prey's role within the KDF fleet is pretty much the same as, well, the Oberth. Scouting, light reconnaissance, but in the case of the bird of prey, it is far more heavily armed with a number of disruptor cannons.
Yeah.
6 in the case of the Burrell class. Just take a look. Those two ones have to be disruptor cannons.
Yep.
Of course, most of them are equipped with cloaking devices, depending on era. Enterprise era boats most likely do not have them.
Yeah.
But the role remains generally the same, even with stealth capabilities. Scouting, commerce raiding, the usual. They're basically U-boats.
Yeah. And they are very good at that job. And while we won't go into detail, I'll cover some of the ones that we have come with that are featured in the Klingon core rulebook, and some of the ones that we've come up with stats for as well. First up is the 22nd, the Enterprise era one, the Von Tak. The essential prototype for the design, and I will quote a little bit from the book here, but this is another example of birds of prey. Instead of conventional warp nacelles, though the Von Tak does look to have ports that could be considered warp nacelles, the main form of warp propulsion in a bird of prey, the warp coils aren't in nacelles. Instead, they're laid out in the wings, which allows for it gives improved stability while at warp, but requires a system that adjusts coil placement up to 25% of the longest axis. So this was basically the original variable geometry warp nacelle, just laid out in a wing.
Regardless, the design has continued to serve the KDF for decades, going through a few design iterations.
Yep. The first one is a variant of the Von Tak. This is book only, but I think it works. The Tuyuk. It's basically a long-range explorer type. And that was in the 2170s, where the Von Tak was in the 2149. And then, of course, the 2280s give us the iconic Burrell, the face of the motion picture era.
At least Klingons. KDF.
Yep.
That said, I take issue with this ship's introduction date.
Yeah. And then this one has a couple variants. Another one that Ron has issues with is the D12 in 2315, as per the book at least. Basically, this was the D12 was an attempt to make a slightly larger ship that could still use parts from the Burrell, and for you to do ease of maintenance, but faulty plasma coils meant that the thing was retired fairly quickly and replaced with the even bigger Cavort.
Oh boy.
We've got our own variants on the Burrell line. Two different variants of the Burrell and the Cavort. And we're going to need to go into more detail on that, but that's another vid. Anyway, Star Trek Online we also covered a class of Klingon bird of prey from the Ages of the Federation mod for Sins of a Solar Empire, the Tokduj class. We won't show that here.
Yes, we don't want this to turn into another, oh god, this won't upload fast.
Yep.
Took all bloody day and it still stayed at 83%.
Yep. We also have the Kud class. This is, or Insurrection. This is a ship from Starfleet Command 2. I think we might have already done a vid on this, so
we have.
So all the detail is in that one. Ron can even link it.
Should I so choose to.
Yep. Another STA exclusive variant is the Il Chapar class. This is a heavy explorer meant as a replacement for the Tuyuk, and according to the book lore, the first four vessels of the class took the lead on the Great Tribble Hunt.
After all, the fuzzy little bastards must die.
Yep. And then there's the core. I think we've also done a video on this one, but we didn't get into quite as much detail as we probably should have. So we'll group this in with the Burrell lineage, because I do think the core is the ultimate bird of prey, is the ultimate evolution of the Burrell lineage. And Star Trek Online has a few other variants. The Baralth and the Koloth.
As well as a massive number of birds of prey that are probably never going to get upgraded to Tier 6.
Yeah. Simply because they are leveling ships. Because before Tier 6 ships got scaling, you basically had a ship for each 10 levels. And the Klingons had a bird of prey type for every 10 levels.
Frankly, I would get rid of the whole skin restriction thing and just apply the bones to every single bird of prey and be done with it.
Yep. We have stats for one of these leveling ships, the Norg class. I basically have headcanon this as being built by a rival house to House Katinga, the main designers of the Burrell line, and used as something of a pocket flagship for smaller houses.
Rather fittingly, similar to the Kud class, which it is partially based on.
Yep.
We will touch on that on a later date.
Yeah, again, that's another vid. So, yeah, that's just our basic bird of prey overview, and We'll have links to every single bird of prey that we'll have links to sheets for every bird of prey that I have mentioned in this in the descriptions. They will also get their own vids where we will go into more detail on them. But for now, that has been Birds of Prey. Klingon Birds of Prey.
Yes, because we don't want Disney or DC to try and kill us.
Yeah.
I don't need any copyright strikes.
Yeah.
Bye bye.